Okay, welcome everyone to this session about ACCA exam preparation, December 24 or March 25. This is going to be approximately a 40 minutes delivery from my side because there is a mix of students from skills level and applied knowledge level. So it is possible that in the first 5 or 10 minutes, you might feel, the P level students might feel that, oh, you are talking about skills, which I'm already done. And probably the similar type of feelings could come to the skills students that why are you talking about P level? I'm in skills. So you have to be patient for 5 or 10 initial minutes. And then it will become very interesting and very important session for all of you people. So I will try to, initially I have to discuss the papers which are in skills and which are in professional. But once we are done with that, my focus here on this session is not about giving you information about what is ACCA. In fact, my focus would be how to better prepare for ACCA exams, whether you are a skills student or you are a professional, strategic professional level student. What are the do's and don'ts? What are the things which you should focus on? Which mistakes you should avoid? Which mistakes others have made or others make, so that you can avoid them and don't repeat the same mistakes. Okay. So this is the agenda. And end of the session, I do not have any time limitation. So if those of you people who have some individual questions, they can remain in the session and I can answer them individually. All questions. Okay. So there is no time limitation. I will finish in 40 minutes. After that, it will be your turn. Probably less than 40 minutes, I will finish. I'll finish it in 30 minutes. Then you can keep on asking your questions. I'll try to best answer those questions. And those questions could be related to qualification, exam preparation, qualification, or it could be your career related questions as well, if you want to ask. So skill level exams, a very quick thing. You've got 6 exams here, F4, F5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Out of which what we have here situation that this is on-demand exam. This is not a session-based exam. So you can take this ACCA F4 anytime. Remaining papers are F5, 6, 7, 8, 9, which we call PM, TX, FR, AA, and FM. Important thing to remember is that you can take these exams in any sequence. There is no restriction because all of these papers, they are not prerequisite to each other. Except F4, all other exams are taken 4 times in a year, March, June, September, December. And you can take them in any particular order, you can start with F9. My recommendation, when people, they finish their applied knowledge level, which is level 1, F1, F2, F3, and they move on to skills level, I usually suggest that they should first take F7. Second, they should go for F2. Third exam, they can take for, this is F6, and they can go for F8. And this is also, while doing F8, they can do law as well. It is a short exam. And the last exam should be this one, which is F9. So F9, they should take in the end. These 2 papers, law and audit, they can mix up together. Okay. Mostly this paper is all theory and audit is all theory. All other questions are a mix. All other questions are a mix of theory and numerical calculation. These 2 papers, they require relatively less effort. This is very easy. And this could become tricky. F8 could become tricky. It is quite possible that you are a working auditor. You are a working professional. You work in a firm, in audit firm. You know what is audit. You are very well prepared. You go to exam and you get flunked. It is possible. So F8 is it has a surprise element. Most exam papers, how much time it is taken for preparation, I'm going to discuss. So here I'm just telling you the sequence, just to become familiar with the subjects, but how to prepare for them. This is the agenda and the mistakes which students make while preparing these exams. This is the agenda for today. Then you have here, okay, these 6 exams are all essentials. You have to take all of them. The only thing which you can do is that you can change the order. I have suggested my sequence F7, F5, F6, F4 plus F8, and F9. This is for working professionals. If you are a full-time student, then you should be taking 2 papers at one time. I repeat it again. If you are a full-time student, then you should take 2 exams every session, and you can do it. You can do it. If you are a working professional, then you should be taking 1 exam per session. Then you come to the next thing, which is professional level exams. So in professional, we call it P level, we call it strategic professional. And there are 2 types of papers. We call them essentials and we call them optionals. There are 2 essential papers, SBR and SBL. Strategic business reporting, strategic business leader, you have to take them at any cost. Then you've got optionals. 4 optional papers are there. You have to choose two out of these 4. And this is when you have to make a choice. This is where students, they very frequently start thinking which one I should take. So number one thing is that these 2 you have to take in any case. And now please listen to me very carefully. Should I take AFM, AAA, APM, or ATX? If you ask me, for most of the people, for most of the students, the best combination will remain AFM and AAA. I suggest doing AFM or AAA. APM and ATX is like last choice. So what I suggest, you are doing SBR, which you must do, SBL, of course you have to do, and AFM and AAA. Why do I suggest that? See, I have worked 24 years in accounting and finance. Okay, I'm a working professional. You guys also are into the same profession, accounting and finance. So I know that most of us, when we finish our qualification, or even if we are already working, where do you work? Either you work in industry or you work in a firm. Firm means that which we call practice. So either you go to practice, which is a firm, an audit firm, or you work in industry for some company, for some business, whatever. So if you work with an auditor in an audit firm, if you are in practice, what you are doing audit, and you have to be skillful in audit. So while performing your job as an auditor, APM or ATX is not going to support you. You need the knowledge of AAA. If you work in a firm, you need audit, AAA, to perform your job better, number one. And then what do? Most of the auditors, after 3, 4, 5 years, they leave the audit firm, they leave practice, and they go to industry. They get job offers. And which job offers they get? Finance managers or assistant finance managers. So either finance manager position you are looking at. So you say, oh, I'm going to work with KPMG for 5 years. And then I know that I will get an offer from industry. I will make a switch. And I will be working as a finance manager in some company. And if you go there as a finance manager, you need AFM. Okay. So if you work in firm, if you work in practice, if you are in audit, you need these 2. This you need today, and this you need tomorrow. Okay. This is for those people who work in the audit. Now, there are other people who would say, I don't want to work for the audit, or I am not working in audit. I want to go to industry, maybe manufacturing, maybe service, or whatever it's so. So I'm not an auditor, I'm an accountant. I don't want to build up my career in audit. I want to build my career in accounting. So you go and start working in accounting. Which accounting? In companies, you have financial accounting and reporting, management accounting, which is budgeting, and tax accounting. If there are 20 accountants, there are 15 financial accounting positions. 3 positions are for management accounting, and 1 or 2 positions are for tax accounting. So most probably you will land up in financial accounting. You build career in financial accounting and reporting. And financial accounting and reporting, you again need audit, because whatever financial reporting you will do, you will make sure that you will not make some, wrong application of IFRS standards, and you will, while doing your accounting job, you are communicating with your auditors. So AAA again is needed. Whether you work as an accountant, you need advanced audit and assurance. It will help you to do your job better. Because when you will become in 3 years' time, you become a chief accountant. A chief accountant is responsible for prepare monthly financial statements and then working on annual financial statements. Again, AAA knowledge is essential, even if you are industry. And then you set your target. Oh, I'm gonna, my first benchmark or first milestone is to become a finance manager in next 5 years. So if you become a finance manager, what are you going to do? AFM, financial management. You tell me the first 5 years of career or first 6 years of career, where do you see APM? Where do you see ATX? I don't see it. I don't see any reason. So sometimes people say that, I'm just thinking between the choices. I'm just thinking between the options. I say these are not even the options. I don't consider them as options at all. Because let me tell you, even if you do ATX, you still do not become a tax accountant until you take the local tax legislation course in the country where you operate. Okay, you work in Zambia. What are you going to do this UK taxation there? You are sitting in, I don't know, Maldives. What are you going to do with this UK taxation? And the government also, your company also will not allow you to act as a tax practitioner until or unless you do not take a local taxation course. You have to take it. So this does not make much sense. APM is a good course. APM is a good course, actually, if you ask me. It's a good subject, but it has very low pass rates, very, very low pass rates, very unexpected exam, surprising results, and little application. So if you ask me AFM or APM, I would say AFM. Yes, if for some reason you hate AFM, the only thing, if you hate AFM for some reason known to you, only then you can come to APM. But ATX is not something which I really suggest. ATX, some people they take because, oh, it is easy to pass. Let's take it because it is easy to pass. This is no reason. I don't build my career based on which subject is easy to pass, which subject is difficult to pass. I base my career on which subject gives me the knowledge which I can apply in my real life. So conclusion is, mostly I would suggest SBR, SBL, AFM, and AAA. Now, the second question which students they ask, in which sequence we should do it? What should be the order of these papers? See, order is very important. Order is very important. Now, because I suggest that when you finish your skill level, your last paper should be F9. I just said it a few minutes ago, that from skill level, start with F7, F5, F6 plus F4, F8, and F9. So you finish F9 here, and you start AFM here. So those people who are coming from skill level and they have just taken their F9 exam, they should take AFM, because these two papers, they connect very well each other. Almost 30%, 40% of knowledge is same. Of course, it is advanced financial management, but it takes a lot of knowledge from F9, a lot of knowledge. So passing AFM becomes very easy if you do it immediately after F9. So then you should do AFM, then you go for SBR. In SBR, you do financial reporting IFRS. Immediately, you should go for AAA. And last one, you should take SBL. This is the order for those people. I will answer. Just give me a minute. Yeah, I will provide the recording as well. So if you are finishing with F9, then go for this sequence. Now, some people will come in and they will say that, I got 9 exemptions. I did not pass F9. Or maybe I passed F9 2 years ago and I already have forgotten it. So does this thing still work for me? So if you have not taken F9 recently in the last 6 months, then do not start with AFM. Otherwise, AFM will show you a lot of nightmares. So those of you people who have taken 9 exemptions and they directly jump into strategic professional level, or maybe those who took a F9 or FM, which we call a financial management, maybe 2 years ago, and they don't remember much. For those people, I change the order. For them, I say start with SBR, then do AAA. Remember that SBR and AAA should always be done one after the other, because whatever IFRS standards you learn in SBR, the same will apply in AAA. So you cannot do AAA before SBR, never. And if you have done SBR, immediately the best paper is always AAA. And then you take your AFM and then keep SBL in the end. This is one group of people. This is second group of people. Why did I suggested AFM here? Because I said you just passed F9. If you say I have not passed F9 recently and I forgot whatever I did 2 years ago, I say start with SBR. You say, why should I start with SBR? Because at least you are a working professional. You are studying accounting. You are working in accounting. And I'm sure that SBR, which is financial reporting, it will not look very different or very alien to you. It will look familiar to you because most of us, we have a very good understanding of, if not very good, but at least a reasonable understanding of financial reporting from F7 or whatever. So start with SBR, it will become easy for you. Keep SBL in the end. There is a third group of people, which is very unique. Because I've seen this third group of people as well. Somebody comes to me and says, I have been working I stopped my qualification 5-6 years ago. Last 5 years, I didn't take any exam. I have 3-4 exams left. I'm coming back again. Where should I start with? To them, I say start with SPL because they are not good in financial reporting and they are not good in financial management. For them, doing long calculations of AFM or SBR probably is not a very good idea. They are coming back after a break. SBL is a theoretical business. And because you are a working professional, you have gained enough knowledge about business problems, business issues, and working environment of businesses. So it will be easy for you to, express your ideas on this thing. Do SBL, then take SBR, then take AFM and AAA, and keep AFM in the end because AFM is a technical exam. It's a complex exam, AFM. So this is the order. I have tried to address all three different group of participants who are usually found doing the professional level exams, okay? Then if I move on, it says that elements of successful preparation. Okay, this is very important. See, ACCA average pass rates for ACCA exams are between 40 to 55%. Okay, so some papers are even 38%. Some papers are 44%, 45%, 50, 52, 55, 56. ACCA, these are global pass rates. So if I say 40%, it means that if 10 people go for exam, 4 will pass, 6 will fail. If I say 50%, it means that 5 people will pass, 5 people will fail, which means every other person is failing. If I say 50% pass rate, what does that mean? It means every other person is failing. Let me write down like this so that you realize every other person is failing. Oh, that's a big thing. 10 people go to exam, 5 fail, 5 pass. 100 people go to exam, 50 fail, 50 pass. Why do people fail? Are ACCA exams very difficult? Answer is no, because ACCA exams are not very difficult. ACCA has got 50% pass rate. If you go to other qualifications, they have 70% pass rate, 75% passing marks. ACCA is the only qualification, international qualification, which is keeping people 50% and they are giving the degrees. I don't like it. 50% pass rate is too low. But anyhow, that's how it is. So if 50% is the pass marks, still every other person fails. So are these people really very, let me find a suitable polite word. I mean, there are so many colleagues. Okay, let's not find a polite word. Are these people so stupid that they cannot even score 50%? I mean, you cannot get even half of that thing. I'm not asking you to get 90%. I'm asking you, do you know half of the subject? So when you come up and you say, I got 40% score, so it means that you know 40% of the subject. So that's not really a good idea. Why do people fail? So I don't think that people should ever fail in ACCA exam. Actually, people, they try to fail. They don't try to pass, they try to fail. A lot of students, they do not even understand that what is exam preparation. We do not structure it very well. So ACCA, passing ACCA exam, I'm going to go into detail, but the bottom line is passing ACCA exam is not very difficult at all. All it needs, it needs a commitment. It needs a disciplined approach, and it needs to understand what exam preparation means. See here, exam preparation is about three things. It's about learning the subject. It is about exam preparation, preparing for exam. These are two different things. These are two different things, and testing yourself. I know some of my students, like 10 days before exam, I ask them, what are you doing? Oh, sir, I'm watching your lecture videos. Why are you watching my lecture videos now, 10 days before exam? Because when you watch my lecture video, it is called learning the subject, because I only explain you about the topic. You have to do your exam preparation separately, which means practicing the questions. Questions from the practice kit, questions from the past exam papers. So because people, each exam of ACCA, it usually take 130 to 160 hours, somewhere in between, depending on the subject. For example, SBR has a long syllabus, probably 160 hours. SBL has a short, maybe 130 hours are enough. So 120, 30, 40, 50, 60 hours you need. So if you need 140 hours, if you allocate 140 hours properly, then you can do this. But what you do, you allocate only 90 hours in total. You see, there is a time. I always quantify things. I like to quantify things. It's not like it's very difficult. Please quantify it. It's very easy. What do you mean by very easy? Easy could be different. Your understanding of being easy is different than my understanding. So let's quantify the work. So there is, if there are 2 points from point A to point B, if it requires 30 minutes to reach, 30 minutes of travel time, but you are trying to reach it in 15 minutes, what will happen? Sometime you will end up here, sometime you will end up here, sometime you will end up here. You will never reach there. It requires 30 minutes, my friend. Please leave home 30 minutes earlier so that you can reach there in time. What you are trying to do, you are trying to pass ACCA exam by giving 70 hours. You are not justifying the effort. The moment, the day You decide, I am going to give 140 hours to each ACCA exam. You will pass every paper. You do not pass, not because that exam was difficult or not because you were not intelligent enough. You actually could not do it because you were giving 70 hours to something which requires 140 hours. And when you were giving 70 hours and you are talking to your friends and you say, you know what, exam is in 3 days or exam is in next week. And you know what, I have not done enough practice and there is not enough time to do practice. These type of things, when you talk to your friends, I could not do practice. There was not enough time for doing practice, or I did not do practice. All of them, they are arising from the same reason, that your allocation of time was less. See, you have to allocate budget. There is a budget for everything we do. We are accountants. We understand what is a budget. If your budget is not enough, then you cannot achieve something. You have a birthday party here at your home where you are inviting 20 people. You set a budget for that. If you allocate small budget or less budget, that party would not go well, because then you will have to compromise on things, sacrifice on things. So allocate good budget, results will be achieved. So you have to allocate time. Number one, 120 to 160 hours, depending on the exam paper, depending on your personal qualities, how focused you are, how much knowledgeable you are, how smart you are academically. Some of us are academically very smart. Some of us are not academically very smart. We are very good at other things, but when it comes to books, I struggle with that. So it depends, 120 to 160 hours, but minimum 120 hours are needed. Number one. And then this 160 hours, it should be divided among these three things. Only reading the book will not help you pass. Only watching my lectures will not help you pass. You can watch my lectures 10 times. 10 times. If you really love my voice, put my video, keep on listening to it and go to bed, go to sleep. Every day you can do it. It will not help you. It will not help you. Out of 160 hours of total or 150 hours of total, maybe 70 to 80 hours are for learning the subject. Then you have to work on yourself preparing for exams. See, exam preparation. What does that mean? I always give this example. Let me repeat it again. The best football players in the world, I think maybe Ronaldo, Neymar, Messi, these are the names. When they have a match, some big championship, some tournament, some big match, 10 days, 15 days before the match, they start waking up early in the morning and they are doing a lot of practice. They go to the ground and they do practice. So if you go there and you ask Ronaldo, what are you doing here? He say, I'm preparing for the exam, for the match. Are you now trying to learn how to play football? Do you think somebody is going to tell Ronaldo that, you have to learn how to play football 10 days before the match? No, he knows everything. He knows everything about football, more than you, more than me. But he knows that he needs to get ready. See, I teach SBR and I teach AFM. And I'm teaching this subject for the last 15 plus years. If I have to go and sit an exam this session in December, trust you me, I will also need to do practice. Because I need to make sure that within the specific time, I can do it. I know the subject, I am the teacher, but I need to do practice if I have to go to exam. How can you just walk into the examination hall and say, I will pass it? You cannot do it. Ronaldo needs practice. Messi needs practice. Neymar needs practice in football. I need practice in my field. Why do you not need practice? You need practice, and that practice is approximately 30% of the total time. which means approximately 50-40 hours you have to spend on exam preparation and then testing yourself. You do not take mock exam 1, you do not take mock exam 2, and then you go to final exam. And you know what, you go to final exam, you say, let's see what happens. Oh, you know what, I could not complete the exam. Did you complete it here? I did not do that. Did you complete it here? I do not know that. I did not attempt it. I did not try it. So how could you be so sure that you would do it here? Yes, I completed my mock exam 1. I completed my mock exam 2. Now I have a sufficient reason to believe that when I go to exam, I will be able to do that as well. So please test yourself with quizzes, progress tests, assignments. Your time allocation is so poor in most of the cases that they spend 100 hours total, which is not enough. Out of 100, they spend 70 to 75 here, and they spend only 15 to 20 here, and they spend 5 hours here. And with this thing, you go to exam, everybody must and should fail. Must and should fail. Practicing, doing your own practice questions is very important. So when I say that learning the subject, it's between 60 to 90 hours. It depends, because if it is SBL, 60 hours are enough. If it is AFM or SBR, maybe 90 hours are needed, because learning the subject has what it includes. These are the things. Number one, watch the video lectures. Lecture videos means topic videos. Watch question videos. Read the notes. If needed, read the book. Book reading is not necessary. Notes are enough. If you do these 3 things, this is what takes 60 to 90 hours, because note reading is 20 to 25 hours, and lecture videos and question videos are again something like 60 to 70 hours, depending on subject. Even SBL is shorter. So this is your first thing. You say, okay, and this thing should be done separately. Don't mix up things. When you are watching the video lecture, you are gaining the knowledge. But when you are doing the questions, practice questions yourself, you are preparing for exam. You are preparing for the exam here. Exam preparation, solve practice kit questions, solve past exam papers, read technical articles, read examiner reports. You see, I tell you one thing, which is very, very important here. Solve practice questions. A lot of students in P-level papers especially, they come out and they say that time was not enough. Not enough time. This is the most common or most popular complaint which people they make. Yes, it is true that exam is long, but there is also one reason. You also have a fault. What is your fault? I tell you. You know, when you start, so now we are in September, we will have here October, we have here November, and exam is in somewhere in December. So most students, they start practicing in October and November. In September, they just watch videos. October, they are watching videos, plus they're doing some practice also. How do they do practice? Did somebody ever keep a clock on the table? No. Everybody, almost everyone, is doing practice in a very relaxed mode. Okay, let's do a question. They pick up a question, they read the question, then somebody came to the door and they went attending them. Then they start seeing some message on there. Maybe they are not seeing the messages on phone, but they're sitting like this and doing it in a very relaxed mode. So a question which actually should have been done in 25 minutes, they are doing it in 35 minutes. And they are doing it every day for 2 months. So you are very successfully training your brain and your thoughts to go slow. You yourself have trained your mind to waste 10 minutes and to go slow. You never tried to go fast. You never trained to go fast. Every day you were doing question in a very relaxed mode. You never put yourself under exam conditions. You never tested yourself. So successfully, you have taught yourself how to do questions in more time. You have actually trained yourself very successfully how to waste time, because this is what you did in 2 months. And then when you go to exam, you say, oh, I need to go fast. All your life, you have been running like a marathon. And when you go to exam, you try to do a sprint, it will not work. And then you come out and you say, time was not enough, because you never practiced this time management in these 2 months. So my advice, keep a watch with you. Try to do a 25-minute question in 25 minutes. Even if you cannot complete it, keep on doing it. Spend 35 minutes, no problem. You have to complete it. But at least you will have a realization that I took 10 minutes more. Currently, you don't have this realization. At least you have a realization, oh, last time I took more time. So next time when you will try, probably you will do it in 9 minutes extra. Then you will do it in minute. So somehow in 2 months' time, you will learn how to go fast, not to read a question 3 times, how to understand the question by just reading it 1 time, how to read fast, how to read quickly, how to pick up the important information, how to think fast, how to structure fast. All these things will start happening once you have a realization that I am wasting time. Currently, there is no such realization. This is very important to remember. Okay. Test yourself, attempt all quizzes on Vertex site. I even give quizzes for SBR and AFM. Of course, F5, 6, 7, 8, 9, all subjects have quizzes, because they do have section A and section B. So, but I give quizzes for AFM and SBR as well, because I want to test your knowledge. By the way, with the word quizzes, people who are from skill level F5, F6, F7, even F8 and F9, there are quizzes for every chapter, every topic on Vertex portal. Please attempt all quizzes. There are progress tests as well. Please attempt those progress tests as well. Because remember, you've got section A and you've got section B, which is 30 marks here and 30 marks here. And then you've got section C, which is 40. If you want to, these 2 sections, which are MCQ and OTQ, which is total 60 marks, if you can get 40 or 45 out of 60 here, you are already passing the paper. Because I know some people, they get scared about section C. Oh, F5 section C is very difficult. F9 section C could be very tricky. What to do with that? Don't think even about section C. Do very good in section A and B. You actually can pass from doing these 2 sections alone. Even if you get 40 here, you only need 10 here to pass. So passing these paper is so easy. I don't understand. I really want to see those people. I really want to have a cup of coffee with them who come out and they say, I couldn't pass F7. This is the only paper. If somebody says, sir, I could not pass F5 and F8, I will have a sympathy with them and I will try to find out a reason why you could not pass, because it is possible F5, F8. But with F6, F7 and F9, if somebody says I could not pass, you really deserve a medal. You deserve a medal if you couldn't pass F9. F5 is my subject, F8 is not my subject. But I know that F8 could become very surprising. F5 also could become surprising. But 6, 7, and 9, everybody should pass and should pass with good score, provided you do A and B very well. And A and B is only MCQs, OTQs. Take all of the quizzes, all of the progress tests, and I don't see a reason for not passing, okay? And if those who do not pass, they should come to me. I should give them some medal for not passing the exam. Complete and submit assignments. We've got a lot of assignments on each subject. So submit your assignments, whether you are in P level or you are in skills level. Marking is very important. When you submit an assignment and it is being marked and you see it, see, my job is to teach, which is 40%. My contribution within your success is only 40%. Then you prepare and you take the exam. And then when you give the exam, it's not that, oh, did you take exam? Yes, I took exam. Did we check your exam? Yes, we checked your exam. It's not about putting a tick mark. Actually, what you need to see, you need to analyze your mistakes. Analyze your mistakes and then improve on those areas so that next time it will be a better situation. So it's not that, okay, you gave me an assignment for review and I send it back and you just put it somewhere in your inbox, in your Gmail. No, you have to take it out. Understand where did you go wrong? What mistake did you make? So there were 10 mistakes. There were 10 mistakes. And you learn these 10 things. So at least by taking one test, you say, I learned 10 things out of this test. So at least if these 10 things will come in exam, I will not make mistake at least in these areas. Give me another. So I gave you another assignment or another test. Again, you made 10 mistakes and you notice those mistakes. You try to remember the right way of doing it and you learn 10 more things. So you say, oh, in 1 week, I learned 20 new things. So at least these 20 scenarios, if they appear in exam, I will do good. So it's not just a formal, a process, test 1, test 2, test 3, assignment 1, assignment 2, assignment 3. No, it has a purpose. The purpose is when you take a test, it gives me an opportunity to identify your weak areas, and you will have an opportunity to improve or enhance those weak areas. If we don't take this testing, I will not know and you will not know what the problem areas are. So therefore, test yourself. Testing is very important. Testing is very important. And testing includes quizzes, assignments, progress tests, and mock exams. At least 2 mock exams. At least 2 mock exams take and then go to exam. Okay. Where to begin? Register the course, prepare your customized study plan. So Vertex, I think, is the only tuition provider which gives you access to the software where you can choose the days of the week. I want to study Monday, Wednesday, and Friday and Saturday, and I want to study 2 hours every day. This is my course beginning date. This should be my course ending date. And then you ask your system to prepare a study plan for you. So it will give you exactly a study plan based on your requirement because you selected Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, and Sundays. And 2 hours, 2 hours, 4 hours, 4 hours. Starting on September 10th, ending on November 20th. It will give you a plan. You can save it on your computer. You can download and in PDF format and print it and put it on your wall. And you can have the mobile application, which will show you the plan here. Every time you finish a lecture and you put completed, your completion percentage, it is recorded. Just follow the plan. If you don't have a plan, you are not doing anything. You are not doing anything. You will have a lot of workload by the end. Don't do this. Don't keep all the workload. Make a plan and make small contributions to the plan so that when you go to the last week, there is nothing different. Nothing different. Follow the plan, okay? And the plan should not be on daily basis. Actually, you will select weekly workload because it's not possible to study 7 days. Most of us cannot do it. So I suggest that you should be studying 4 days in a week minimum or 5 days in a week maximum and 2 hours, 2.5 hours per day. Follow the study plan and do it strictly on weekly basis. Remain active in the WhatsApp group because WhatsApp group, you have a question, you can ask in the WhatsApp group. You don't have questions, somebody else asks something, but when you see what did they ask, You also do not know it, or you did not know it. It will be a learning point. So when I'm sitting in a class, it's not that only I will ask questions. When you raise hand and you ask something, I learn from that as well. So please don't go to the WhatsApp group only for yourself that, okay, when I will have question, I will go. No, remain active. When other people are asking questions, see what others are asking questions. If they ask a question which you already know, then you cannot wait for the response, you can move on. But they might be asking some questions which are interesting for you as well. So remain active and participate. And finally, we have weekly live sessions. Attend weekly live sessions for doing additional question practice. If you cannot attend, watch the recordings. Final advice, concluding. Passing ACCA exam is really not complicated unless you mess up things. And like I said, that those of you who have flunked in F7 or F9 or in F6, these three subjects especially, I would invite them to some coffee or tea, and I would like to give them a medal that they have successfully flunked the exam, because this is not exam which actually could have been flunked. Set weekly targets in your study plan, study regularly, disciplined approach is important. All you need is to allocate 12 to 15 hours per week. It's very important. This is the workload if you are doing for one exam session. So if you are starting in September and you have October and you have November, something like 10 to 11 weeks, then you need to do 12 to 15 hours per week. 12 to 15, I said, because some subjects are small. They have smaller, shorter syllabus. Some subjects have longer syllabus. So it depends, but not more than that. Do lots and lots of practice, okay? Exam preparation is different than learning the subject, okay? So you need to have separate allocation of time. This time is for exam preparation, 40 hours, 50 hours. If you do it, then everybody will pass. Now, what happens if you do 150 hours, let's suppose, you will pass exam 100%. If you say, I don't have so much time, I'll do 120 hours. Your pass percentage chances are 80%. If exam is easy, you will pass. One question is difficult, you will go. If you are spending 90 hours and then you go to exam, your pass chances are 50%, 50. You would be lucky to pass, but it is like this one, okay? If you really want to pass it for sure, which I would suggest you should be doing, why do you spend 3 hours now, then you get fail 3 months, and then you repeat it again? It's not funny. It is a waste of money and it is a waste of time. So just go to exam for passing it. Don't go to exam for checking whether I can pass or not. Go to exam for passing it. And passing it means there is no difference. All you need to do, if you are spending 100 hours, your pass chance is 50-50. Add 50 hours more, make it 150, and make your 100% success. That's all. It's only about hours. It's nothing else. Nothing else. It's only about time what you give. And it's not only ACCA. Anything you do in life, you start giving it more time, you become better at that. You want to start learning how to play guitar. Take a guitar in your hand and give it 1 hour per day. One day you will be a very good guitarist. Whatever you want to do, give it more time. It's not something very difficult or a rocket science. Add few more hours, everything will be okay. Any questions you have, please ask me.